The 10 largest cities in the world. Welcome to our channel. Today we list out 10 largest cities in the world. So before we go, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. According to the United Nations latest report on populations in cities, by 2030, urban areas are projected to house 60% of people globally, and 1 in every 3 people will live in cities with at least 500,000 inhabitants. Growing in both size and number, cities are hubs of government, commerce, and transportation, and in 2021, the world's 20 largest cities are home to 500 million people. In fact, 1 in 5 people worldwide lives in a city with more than 1 million inhabitants. Here is the list of 10 largest cities in the world. Number 10. Mumbai, population 12.4 million. Mumbai lies on the western coast of the Indian subcontinent and has approximately 12.4 million inhabitants. Mumbai developed around a fort established by the British in the 17th century. Its natural harbour facilitated its growth, and by the 18th century, Mumbai was home to a thriving manufacturing sector. The largest population of billionaires and millionaires for any Indian city reside in Mumbai. Mumbai hosts such important financial institutions as the Bombay Stock Exchange and the Reserve Bank of India. As an art centre, Mumbai hosts the Bollywood industry as well as the Marathi cinema industry. Mumbai's population has surged in the past 20 years, and has in fact doubled since 1991 as migrants from rural areas move to town looking for work. Mumbai may still be growing, but the rate is slowing. Number 9, Tianjin, population 12.7 million. Tianjin lies in China's northern coastal region, and it has over 12 million residents. Tianjin developed as a trading center after the Grand Canal was opened in the era of the Sui dynasty. The city saw particular growth under the Qing dynasty as well as the Republic of China, and it has served as a treaty port since 1860. Tianjin is also a gateway to Beijing, and European architecture reflects its colonial history. The city's GDP in 2014 was 1.572 trillion yuan, with the highest GDP per capita in the country at $17,126. But it's showing no signs of leveling off or even decreasing. Manufacturing is the largest industry in the city and accounts for its speedy and consistent growth. Luckily, growth has slowed considerably since then. It expanded a mere 1.4% between 2019 and 2020. Number 8, Manila, population 12.8 million. The city of Manila was first founded by the Spanish in 1571. Because of this, the city is home to many historic sites dating back hundreds of years as well as a unique mix of architectural styles. The design of the city was carefully planned by American architect and urban planner, Daniel Burnham, in 1905. Today, the city is the capital of the Philippines and is listed as an Alpha Global City. Manila sits on the shores of Manila Bay and is renowned for its harbor. The city is prone to natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, and typhoons. Manila is the world's most densely populated city with 111,002 people per square mile. Plus, with many poor migrants moving into Manila from rural areas, Manila's projected increasing growth rates are certain to put further strains on resources. Number 7, Moscow, population 13.1 million. Moscow is Russia's largest city as well as the country's capital. Situated on the banks of the Moskva River in central Russia, the city is the world's northernmost megacity. The city has been the seat of power for a multitude of states before being named as the capital of Russia and the home of the government of Russia. The city is known for its well-developed transit network, large green areas, and stunning architecture. Number 6, Tokyo, population 13.6 million. Tokyo lies on the eastern coast of Honshu, the largest of the 4 islands that make up Japan. The city is the Japanese capital and one of Japan's 47 prefectures. The city was initially called Edo but was renamed in 1868 when the Japanese imperial family relocated there from Kyoto. Tokyo's metropolis has an estimated 13,617,445 residents. Tokyo is home to 51 of the Fortune Global 500 firms, and it is ranked 4th in the Global Cities Index. The inhabitants of Tokyo are almost all Japanese with communities of Chinese and Koreans. Tokyo is home to the headquarters of large corporations and financial institutions, while the manufacturing sector is mainly concentrated in Yokohama, Chiba, and Kawasaki. Tokyo will house almost 1.5 million fewer people than it does today. Needless to say, this is the kind of population trend that would benefit the rest of the cities on this list. Now that you know the biggest cities in the world, see how America is catching up with the fastest growing cities in the US. Number 5, Dhaka, population 14.5. The city now known as Dhaka has been a prominent commercial center since the 17th century and has been the capital of several empires and countries before becoming the capital of the newly independent Bangladesh in 1971. With a population of 14.5 million people, it is the largest city in Bangladesh and one of the major cities of South Asia. The city's population has grown tremendously over the past several decades, emerging as a megacity by the 21st century. It is the major financial, political, and cultural center of the region. Business Insider called Dhaka the most crowded city in the world in 2018, and it's only grown since then. With over 23,000 people per square kilometer and an incredible 2,000 people per day moving into Bangladesh's capital city. Number 4, Istanbul, population 14.6 million. Istanbul had a fascinating history, having been established around 660 BCE as Byzantium and re-established in 330 CE as Constantinople. Istanbul was the capital of the Roman, Byzantine, Latin, and Ottoman empires, the latter of which transformed it into an Islamic center. The city was positioned along the infamous Silk Road, which facilitated the settlement of diverse peoples in its territory. Istanbul has over 14 million inhabitants, and it attracts millions of tourists yearly as one of the most sought-after European tourist destinations. Istanbul has also earned a reputation as a historical, arts, cultural, and entertainment hub. The city's residents doubled their population in the 1980s when the parameters of its borders greatly expanded. It boasts the largest airport in the world, a lucky happenstance for one of the fastest-growing metropolises. Number 3, Karachi, population 18 million. Karachi serves as the capital of Sindh province, and its greater metropolitan area has 18 million residents. The city enjoys a strategic location on the Arabian Sea, and it is home to Port Bin Qasim and Port of Karachi, which are among Pakistan's largest ports. The city was established as a fortified village in 1729 called Karachi. Karachi's residents belong to different ethnicities, races, and religions, making it Pakistan's most diverse and secular city. Karachi's formal economy was valued at $113 billion in 2014, and it generates about 20% of the nation's GDP. Number 2, Beijing, population 18.5 million. Beijing is the capital of China, and it sits on the North China Plain in the country's north-central region. The city, also called Peking, has an eventful history, from being one of the 4 great ancient capitals of China to foreign occupation as well as the Civil War in the 20th century. Beijing established itself as an industrial sector in the aftermath of the Communist Revolution of 1949. Automobiles, textiles, petrochemicals, aerospace equipment, and semiconductors are some of the products produced by the city's industrial sector. Beijing is home to over 20 million residents. As a cultural center, Beijing boasts of 7 World Heritage Sites listed by UNESCO. One of the serious downsides to such a large population in an urban area, Beijing has some of the worst air for breathing, thanks to nearby polluting coal plants and to car traffic measuring 52 microns per cubic meter, as reported by Reuters. Number 1, Shanghai, population 24.1 million. Shanghai's population of 24.1 million makes it the top populous city proper not only in Asia but in the world as well. Shanghai strategically lies in the Yangtze River Delta, and the city's port is ranked as the world's busiest, having handled 37 million TEUs in 2016. Qinglong Town, founded in 746, preceded Shanghai, and it grew as a trading port in Imperial China. Shanghai's economic potential made it a center of conflict in the 19th century as the British and French fought to control the city. The Japanese also invaded Shanghai during the Second World War. Experts predict its greater metropolitan regions will hit 50 million residents by 2050, which is sure to exacerbate all the problems that come with dense cities, like insufficient infrastructure and pollution. Hopefully, you've enjoyed discovering all of these cities. Thanks for watching.